Hello Gaudi class and welcome to today's maths lesson. We're starting with arithmetic, 4.5 minutes, timed, you know the drill by now. Pause the video and I'll see you for the answers. Let's start with challenge 1, 14 take away 2. So I'm going to do them in my head. 14 and I've got 2 I need to take away. So 14, I'm going backwards, 13, 12. I need to make sure that my answer is smaller when I'm taking away. 7, add 5. Again, I'm going to put the 7 in my head, 5 on my fingers, 7, and this time I'm getting bigger because it's an add. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Number 3, 2 lots of 2. 1 lot of 2, 2 lots of 2. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 all together. I could have been counting in twos there, couldn't I? 2, 4. Practice my skill. And something, take away something equals 8. And like I keep saying, as long as we start with the number bigger than 8, we should be able to find an answer. I'm going to start with 10 again. Okay, because I like starting with 10. So I'm going to take something away, and when I've finished, I want to have 8 left. So that's my 5, 6, 7, 8. So I want those ones left. So I'm going to take away the 1, 2. So 10, take away 2. 8. Let's do 15. Take away something equals 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 15 in my head and I'm going to count backwards until I get to 8 and see how many fingers I've used. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So I've got 5, 6, 7 fingers. So 15 take away 7 equals 8. Let's start another one. Let's do a higher one. 23 take away something equals 8. And I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to put the 23 in my head and I'm going to count backwards 8 and see where I land on. So 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. So 23 take away 15 equals 8. And there are lots and lots of different answers you could have had, and I will check those on Tapestry. Let's go to challenge 2. 18 add 41, and again I'm going to look at my ones, and I've got a big one because I don't like the 8, so I'm going to use my 10s and 1s to help me. You don't need to if you don't want to. 8 add 1 is 9, and 1 add 4 is 5. So I didn't need to use my 10s and 1s because I wasn't carrying. But as I keep saying, when the number's big, I just like to check. Double something equals 16. So counting in twos till I get to 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Gives me 8. So double 8 is 16. So 8 add 8 is 16. 22, take away something, is going to leave me with 10. So like we did for challenge 1, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 22 and I'm going to take away the 10 to see to get the answer. And I don't need to work this one out because I can count backwards and forwards, adding on 10, taking away 10 each time. So I know that 22 take away 10 is 12. So if I count backwards, 32, 22, 12, 2. I know that from my 100 square. So I think it is 12. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check that through. So if I start with 22 and I take away my 2, I will get to 20. And if I then take away my 10, 20 take away 10 will give me 10. So that is correct. My extension, just like the extension for part 1, start with any number that's bigger than 14. So I am going to start with 15. And to get from 15 to 14, so I could take away 14 from 15, or I could start from 14 and count till I get to 15. So 14, 15 is just 1. I'm going to do 24, take away something equals 14. And again, I could start from 14 and count to 24. So we call that counting on. So 24, and I know I can see, because look, I've got a 4 here and I've got a 4 here. that I just need to count in 10. So 14, 24. So I've counted one lot of 10. If I did another one like that, so say I did 54, take away something equals 14. And again, my ones are the same, so I know that I can count in tens. So I can go 14, 24, 34, 44, 54. This time I've counted on 4 lots of 10, and I know that's 40. And I could play with that one, couldn't I? I could just keep going with my numbers that end in 4, because that's a nice one. So let's do 84 this time. 84, take away something equals 14. So 14, 24, 34, 44, 54, 64, 74, 84. So I've counted on 7 lots of 10. So 70. Right, let's have a look at today's work. Today, we're going to look at grouping. So grouping is when you put piles of items into groups. So let's have a look. So I have got 6 apples. Sorry. I've got 6 apples, and I want to make groups of 3, not 3 groups. I want to make groups of 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a group of 3 apples, and I'm going to make a group of 3 apples. And I can see that I have made 2 groups. So I have grouped 3 apples together. I've made a group of 3 here and a group of 3 here. So I've made groups of 3. So you can see I've got 2 equal groups. So I have, just like yesterday, I've started with how many I've got all together. And then I want to see how many I've got in each group. Sorry, how many groups I've got, and then how many I've got in each group. So that's my total. That's my groups. And that's in each group. Just like we did yesterday. So let's have another one. So I have got 8 flowers, and I want to put them into groups of 2. So how many groups of 2 can I make? So I shall put those 2 to get flowers together. That's a group of 2. And those 2, it's a group of 2. And that's a group of 2. And that's a group of 2. So I can see that I have made 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 2. So I've started with 8 flowers. I have made them into 4 groups, and there are 2 in each group. Okay, let's have a look at my jelly babies. So there are 15. I'll just count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15. And I want to put them into groups of 5. I'm going to start on this side because I've got more space on that side of my screen. So I want to move them into groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, got the wrong jelly bean baby. Jelly baby. 4, 5. So I have got 5 in each group, and I have got 1, 2, 3 groups. So I had 15 jelly babies to start with, and I've put them into 3 groups of 5. So just like yesterday, we start with the biggest number, 15. We have the number of groups, so that's 3, and the number in each group, 5. So 15 shared between 3 groups will give me 5. 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Can you say that one with me? 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Okay, let's have a look at this one. I have got 20 pairs, and I want to make groups of 5 again. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 3 groups. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have got 5 in each group, and I have got 4 groups. So I started with 20 pairs. I've grouped them into 4 groups and I have got 5 pairs in each group. So 20 shared equally between 4 groups will give me 5 pairs. So 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Can you say that one with me? 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Excellent. Right. Next one. I have 12 footballs and I want to put them into groups of 3. So 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I've got 1, 2, 3 left here. So I started with, I didn't start with spots, I started with balls. I started with 12 balls and I've grouped them into 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, and there are 3 balls in each group. So 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Can you say that with me? 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Your turn. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write the STEM sentences and the division questions that match the pictures. So if you look at this picture here, you've got to do, what's our total? So we start with our total. How many have we got all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have got 6 sweets. And we've got how many groups? So first of all is the total, then the number of groups. So we've got 2 groups, and then the number in each group. So we have got 3 in each group. So total, number of groups, number in each group. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. And then you've got another question. So again, how many cubes have you got? How many groups? How many in each group? How many cubes? How many in each group? How many groups? Sorry. How many cubes? How many groups? How many in each group? Challenge 2, you've got the same. So again, you've got 2. Can you write the STEM sentence? So how many children have been grouped into how many groups and how many in each group? And then write that as your division question. How many children? How many groups? How many in each group? And again, your hands, your fingers have been grouped into groups of 10. How many groups and how many in each group? So you've got however many fingers, how many groups, how many in each group? How many fingers, how many in each group? How many fingers, how many groups, how many in each group? I'm getting myself confused now. Challenge 3, you've got 5 petals on each flower. So how many petals have you got together? How many on each, how many groups and how many in each group? How many altogether? How many groups? How many in each group? Okay. Now with this one, you've got some apples and you've got to divide them into 2 groups. So you've got to share them between the 2 groups. So I'm not going to help you with this one. You've got to start off by working out how many apples you've got and how many you're then going to have in each group when you share them. So how many apples, how many groups? That's 2. You can see you've got 2 groups, and how many in each group. So you know that one is a 2. Right, so a couple of extension questions for you to have a go at. So these are our reasoning questions. You have to think about these and actually try and work out what the answer might be. So Eva is putting 24 pencils into pots. She puts 2 pencils into each pot. So she has a pot and in it she puts 2 pencils. Those are my pencils. And then she has another pot and she puts in her 2 pencils. And she keeps going until she's used up all the pencils. How many pots does she need? And the next one, this is a real brainiac one. So Amir has some counters and he makes 5 equal groups. He started with more than 10 counters, but fewer than 35. So somewhere between 10 and 35 counters. How many counters did he start with? And how many would he then have in each group? Remember, they need to be equal groups, 5 equal groups. Can you see if you can find more than one answer? And can you see if you can see what the pattern in the answers is? I'll leave that one with you. I look forward to seeing your work, and I shall see you for the next lesson.